Why do so many lottery winners end up broke? Low IQ. If you're playing the lottery, that filters for low IQ. Let people have fun, chud. Money management. Dude looks completely drugged up, so we can assume cocaine and prostitutes got all his money. What did he do with his money? Probably shorted Bitcoin. I remember this dude. Was addict and criminal to begin with. Bought all sorts of stupid stuff from fake armor to mansion. Private jet or just jet flights. Made a trust fund for his daughter that he ended up using with amazing losses also. Ended up shooting up heroin in the storage shed with his wife. Died penniless and broken health-wise in wheelchair. You know, what a junkie would do if he won. The money is a curse. It'd be a curse for anyone, but the people who play the lottery generally have poor money management skills and tend to come from a background where the people around them have poor money management skills too, in addition to liking money too much. If you give someone like this an insane amount of money, it's like cruelly fulfilling his wishes in a Faustian sort of way. Some people are just generous to a fault. I know a guy who ran his parents' business into the ground when he took over their business in the 50s. The moment his parents retired and left him the business, which was making like $1.5 million per year, immediately he started buying friends' luxury cars, simping for single mothers and buying them cars and paying their rents, buying cars for the kids of the single mothers he was simping for, ended up running the business into the ground since he didn't do anything to maintain it and just spent money. Why do people squander their lottery winnings? Zero financial dispute. Zero future look. Buying lavish homes and cars. I believe the same dynamic applies to athletes who make it then lose it all. Seems like it would be so easy to thrive after such a windfall. Who knows, right? He was targeted by glowies who plotted to ruin his life as a satanic ritual. That's why you never hear of lottery winners who had a happy ending where they went on and lived their life. Most people just are not very smart. People buy a massive mansion and then immediately forget that property taxes are a thing. They think investing is for chumps who have zero partners. Wealth correlates strongly with IQ everywhere in the world. No matter what wealth you start at, you'll eventually find yourself at the appropriate wealth level. Now, as to whether this is because IQ is racist and stuff or because it affects decisions with consequences for wealth is still up for debate. We're only talking about the correlation here. Aside from the drug addiction, if Edwards had made different choices with money, things could have ended up very differently for the winner and his family, according to financial planner James Gibbs. If he followed my advice, he'd be pulling in about $85,000 a month for the rest of his life, Gibbs told the Broward Palm Beach New Times. I want to be pulling in $85K per month. I wonder if I can do it. A better question is, how would you on-ramp that much money into Bitcoin? Where will this guy be in 5 years? Is it possible to claim lottery winnings confidentially so people don't beg to you? I would literally buy Verizon and JPM etc. and delive off dividends and build a modest home in a large rural lot. Maybe a 1985 GMC Sierra that's still in nice shape. He bought Link. Same as third-gen wealth, absolutely no financial sense, and they just squander it all. Plus, America is somewhat cruel in that lottery winners have to do publicity events in most states. They can't really declare their winnings anonymously. So you have a lot of stories about how the winners are hounded by charities, parents with sob stories, police and council harass and fine them for any reason, etc. Hear the same stories in my country too. One of the biggest winners was a married couple that eventually ended up divorced and moved to other parts of the country because of the stress and harassment they get from people wanting their money. That's why I feel pity for this guy. The lottery is fake. Easy come, easy go. Humans aren't good with long-term planning. Because most of them are stupid and think that the money will never run out. They immediately quit their jobs, buy huge houses, sports cars and other luxury goods. Also, their families start coming out of the woodwork asking for everything and anything too. Shortly afterwards they get hooked on drugs and start boinking sex workers. Money's gone in like 5 years top. The same people who play the lottery tend to be the same people with poor money sense. In general, the kind of person who makes the sound financial decision to buy a lottery ticket is the kind of person to make the same sound financial decisions with its lottery winnings. They forget that they have to live until 80 plus and not just for the next 4 to 5 years. They underestimate the ability of cost to scale and how destructive a bad social network can be. With costs, there is always a diamond premium super subscriber option on like everything or some service that you can pay someone to do for you, and that means you can turn $3,000 a month in expenses into $30K a month with ease. With social networks, getting 20 million dumped in your lap doesn't work if everyone around you is spiritually joggers. Money allows you to shake those people off like fleas, but they'll call you every name and insult in the book while you're shaking them off. Some of them might even go so far as to commit crimes against you. Most people don't have the temperament to be rich, and most people never develop it. As your net worth builds, you need to become absolutely ruthless, and that's something people aren't prepared for, which is why they tend to stall out, lose all their money, or something along those lines. You make money and suddenly you're the go-to guy. Everyone wants you at their table, everyone wants you to give you a call, a talk for 45 minutes to see how you're doing. And some of those people want the Diamond Premium Super Subscriber option, and what luck, they know you with all your money. You need to learn to tell people no, which isn't comfortable for a lot of people, and then even worse, you're going to absolutely need to tell people to frig off as politely yet clearly as you can. If you don't, these types of people will collapse your life. Here's the line I use: I don't want to associate with you personally or professionally, good luck, and then build distance. It took me years to get to that point. Lottery winners don't have a prayer. The way anyone can whine and say, why am I living paycheck to paycheck on any salary? Because they're done with money. Because they're silly heads before and after winning the lottery. What you describe reminds me of the silly heads in the Titanic lifeboats who proclaimed we must go back and save them, despite doing so would mean certain capsize from dozens of people scrambling about in the freezing waters trying to save their own skins. Just won $25 million? That's now your lifeboat, and be very careful about who you let on board. Imagine what a rush spending $27 million in a handful of years is like, though. It's because they're genuinely quite stupid. The biggest issue with winning the lottery is anonymity. If you had millions of dollars, the last thing you want is people knowing your face, name, where you live, your phone number. Never mind the amount of family and friends that'll come out of the woodwork seeking gibs for tolerating an interaction with you. If you can keep it to yourself and invest a portion of it so that money can become your new form of passive income. It's really as easy as buying a nice new house in full, buying a sick new car in full, buying full coverage insurance for it all, putting some aside in investments, have a little left over for fun. How do you muck that up? Rich people have won lotteries in the past too. Family is the killer. The first thing you do is set aside whatever percentage you like, in a trust fund, for weddings and education, or a homestead with business plan, etc. Then you never give them another penny. They often don't. That stat is bogus. Think broke, be broke, regardless of material conditions. Being born into a rich family makes you richer, not because of material possessions but because of the mindset that manifested those, in the non-scarce situation that allows you to never worry too much and slide into a scarce mindset that makes you focus too much into short-term thinking and survival bias. Everyone who wins the lottery gets zapped by the CIA drug addict gun. Because almost all those who win the lottery are gambling addicts in the first place with zero money management. It's a casino. I triple my money and then lose it all and withdraw my 2x deposit. It's the dopamine rush and some magic. Because the kind of person that wins the lottery is the kind of person dumb enough to buy a lot of tickets in the first place, so right off the bat the lottery selects for people with bad risk management. Only stupid people play lottery, so only stupid people ever win. Stupid people are poor because they're stupid. Because playing the lottery in the first place is a losing game. Their sheer luck doesn't change the fact that they're bad decision makers. Also, a lot of meth users have damaged frontal lobes and can't help being utterly impulsive. Hookers and cocaine, no self-control. 50% of lottery tickets are bought by the lowest 30% income earners. When these types of people win, they often have no idea how to handle money or that money can make money just by existing. So after a couple of years of spending extravagantly, loaning money to friends and family that'll never pay it back, and poor investments, they find themselves right back where they started. On the contrary, people on this board could actually make far better use of the millions. Think about it, people here are already so heckin' used to failure and risks that they could recognize and invest better. The scalpers, linkies, and even the Dextools gem hunters could make it, considering all they do each day is invest in multiple coins and harvest the results. They just pay him a salary to pretend he won the lotto. Nobody ever wins the big lotteries. That's just an actor claiming he won, and the article is a clear psyop to remind sillyheads to buy their lotto tickets. The dad of a guy I went to school with got like a $750K payout from getting injured at his factory job. He was back to broke and living off of disability in a couple years. The guy said he spent it all on cocaine and strip clubs. I just don't see how that's possible. You have to be buying strippers' cars and stuff to spend that much money. The lottery is a tax on people who can't do math. Why can't I at least just win the heckin' lottery? If the silly heads that buy tickets can get the Powerball and $1 million to billions, why can't the public just set up a fund that people pay into that would pay 70 random people $100,000 for that year? Obviously, corrupt people would be near the organization that sets this up, but government intervention and yearly audits may prevent scummy fools. Like the money goes straight into different index funds. Yearly return of 7%? And just pay out 5% of that year's return. If no return or negative return, then pay out 3%. Heck, even 1% return on $1 billion is $10 million. If your life can't be helped with 100K, you're already lost. Dubs decides my next lotto numbers. The vast majority of people literally can't handle themselves and practice discipline with large lump sums of money. The majority of lottery wins aren't a $100 million Powerball jackpot, they're like a $10 million win. That isn't really enough to buy a 5-star vacation around the world, piles of coke, a fancy mansion, a yacht and sports car, and never have to work again. He probably just bought a lot of link. Win lottery, use money to pump mega shit coins like pregnant butt, perform my own hostile rug pulls once it hits some random number, grow my wealth even further while also dabbing on Jeets. Pay idiot tax, win, idiot continues to make poor financial decisions. How did this happen? Winning the lottery doesn't automatically give you good money management skills. And anyone who has ever had to balance a budget will tell you that money flies. You spend a little here and a little there, and the next thing you know it's gone. It's a simple matter of the money coming in is more than the money going out. That silly head in your pic thought, wow, I won the lottery so I can buy anything I want forever, and he was wrong. They made a documentary about him and he was buying stupid stuff like 15 TF copper dolphin statues, a mansion lined with gold, etc. Being conservative, if you only spent $50K per purchase, whatever amount of money you have divided by $50K, and that's how many purchases you can make until you have to invest in knee pads for rent money. Something about a fool and money. Think about the twisted mentality that compels one to buy lottery tickets in the first place. It doesn't go away just because you win. Because nobody actually wins the lottery. Not that amount. They're paid like $500K and sign an NDA. Being low IQ gronks, they spend it in blow and hookers. The rest they waste. Years later some journo pays them 250 quid for their story, and that's that. 27 million, man. You buy one house/flat depending on your needs. You put some money in banks for interest. Even with 500K 3% interest you get 15K a year. That's enough for food. Imagine you put 2 to 5 mil in the bank for safe interest, invest 5 to 10 mil and do what you want with the rest. Silly,